So, hello everyone and welcome. And I was just looking out the window. We have these very high windows here, looking up at the sky through the windows and the clouds that are here. And if the begins to rain, then first there has to be the clouds. The clouds are the condition for the rain. And the idea of conditionality, that things appear because of other conditions that have to be there, is a central feature in Buddhism. That's one of the purposes of which is to help us break through break out of the delusion of permanence, that something is there forever. And the delusion of self that many of us will live under. And the particular delusion of self is the idea that there is a permanent self, that anything defines us in a permanent way. And there's a movement in the mind of attachment that is very closely connected to the ideas of self, ideas of permanent selves, this is who I am, and the ideas that something is fixed. And so in meditation practice, one of the ways that the teachings on conditionality can function, can support meditation, is that when you're aware of something occurring in the present moment, whatever it is, that experience is a conditioned experience. Certain conditions have come together to bring forth this particular thing. But now that you're aware of it, now that you really see it and know what it is that's happening, you've introduced a new condition into the ecosystem, into the moment. And the idea now is to trust that that's enough for your for your contributions to causes and conditions. A clear awareness. You're not trying to fix anything, you don't have to think about it, don't have to analyze it, and you don't have to use what's happening as a basis for judging yourself. All you do is recognize, things are here for now, for causes and conditions. Maybe it's obvious to see what the conditions were, and maybe your mind wandered off, and that's a condition that when you see that you criticize yourself, that I'm not a good meditator because my mind wandered off. That's a delusion of self that's operating there, making defining oneself by that, as opposed to just recognizing clearly, this is the mind that wanders off. To say, I'm a lousy meditator, that's a condition for feeling lousy. And we feel that lousiness, we see, that's arose because I had this belief. And each step along the way, what we take refuge in mindfulness practice and meditation, is simply having the clarity that things arise because of conditions. We don't have to own them, we don't have to define ourselves by them, we don't have to see them as it's going to be this way forever. It's just the conditions of this moment. And now I contribute a new condition. And the condition is being aware of what's here. And if it's obvious that you can see the conditionality, then you can reckon that helps the clarity. This is here because of these conditions, but not because you're analyzing or thinking about it. Just it's here because of conditions. And the goal is to find clarity in the knowing, clarity, crispness, openness, spaciousness. To just know this is how it is right now. And in knowing and doing that, you are contributing a new condition. Nothing stays the same, no conditions stay the same when they're observed. That's kind of the premise here. And maybe if you look at a chair, the chair doesn't change. But if you look at a chair and just look at it, you change. What we're aware of as we're meditating of ourselves changes because we're aware. And don't try to make the change. Just be aware and then notice how the conditions change. And the conditions are always changing. And every changing condition, every condition is an opportunity for further clarity, clear awareness. That's what we contribute. So to begin, to recognize the conditions of what has contributed to how your body feels right now. How does your posture contribute to how your body feels right now? And before we start meditating, adjusting your posture is contributing the proper or better conditions for the body to participate in the meditation. The body participating in the meditation. The body is just not an appendage that you just kind of have to kind of make comfortable enough so you can meditate. The body is here to be part of the meditation and a posture of participation. And to gently close your eyes and to invite the body into the meditation to be part of it. Taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. Relaxing as you exhale. Letting your breathing return to normal. And given what's happened just so far in meditation, those are the conditions for some of what you feel right now. Maybe something has shifted, changed. And if that's the case, to be aware of it in a simple, clear way. And a way of being aware and being clearly aware that's something like giving room, space, for each thing we're aware of to be as it is. Letting your breathing breathe normally. And if you're aware of your breathing in your body, the breathing now is participating in your meditation. As you exhale, relaxing more. Exhaling and maybe relaxing the thinking mind. Maybe relaxing the belly, and so the weight of your torso settles a bit into your sitting bones. And then continuing with your meditation on your own in the silence. And from time to time, when something new arises, recognize it as arising, occurring because of conditions. That's all. And rely on simple awareness of what's happening, contributing a new condition, contributing being aware. And the more clear the awareness is, without changing anything intentionally, the more it contributes to a new way of being. It's a condition for what's going to happen next. when clear, relaxed awareness fills the field of awareness, the field of attention. Thinking is no longer at the center. Clear awareness, a clarity of knowing, is not nothing. It's one of the most significant acts, conditions we contribute to this moment and the next moment. And now, as we come to the end of this sitting, how do you feel? How are you? Have the conditions of this meditation somehow contributed to you being different now than you were at the beginning of the sitting? And what might have the conditions been that contributed to how you are now? And was one of those conditions your practice of mindfulness, of clear awareness, clear knowing of the present moment? How was that a condition? And may it be that what we learn through meditation, what we learn about being aware, translates to how we live in the world of other people. That we learn to hear, listen to people with clear listening. We learn to see others with clear seeing. There's a little saying that says that adults need to be heard, children need to be seen. May it be the practice we do helps us to contribute positive conditions to this world by listening and seeing others. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. And may the way that each of us listen, the way that each and one sees others, be done in safety and peace, and offering others to be free of our attachments. Thank you. So, hello and welcome to this second talk based on the Udayi Sutta. And I'll read you that sutta again. So, this is a sutta where the Buddha talks about what should be established, what qualities or characteristics should be established in someone who wants to teach the Dharma. So, last 2 weeks I talked about the core teachings that I have, but as important as the teachings is how we teach. And certainly I aspire to teach in the way the Buddha encourage us to be the how we teach. So I'll read the 5 again. The Dharma should be taught to others thinking, I will speak step by step. I will teach, I will speak of a gradual path. The Dhamma should be taught to others thinking, I will speak for practical reasons. The Dharma should be taught to others thinking, I will speak grounded in kindness. The Dharma should be taught to others thinking, I will not speak for material rewards. The Dharma should be taught to others thinking, I will speak without wounding myself or others. And when I introduced these yesterday, I said that these 5 qualities are equally valuable as guidelines for how we speak with others, even if we're not teaching them. And so I'll talk about mostly the teaching side of it, but I'm hoping that those of you who are not going to be teaching, that you consider these as invaluable ways of looking at your acts of speech, how you speak. And today, I'm doing them a little out of order, but today, coincidentally, I'll talk about the second one for the second talk. The Dharma should be taught to others thinking, I will speak for practical reasons. Some translators will translate this as speak based on causes and conditions, explaining causes and conditions. The word that's being used here can also mean instructions. And I like that because rather than teaching people truths, like abstract truths, things to believe in, the emphasis is always instructions of what we can do, what we can practice. And this goes along with what I talked about last week as the second core teaching principle that I have, that of no views, not relying on beliefs, not relying on dogmatic ideas, and but rather relying on what's practical, what we can do ourselves, what we can see, the cause and conditions. And so some people might say, wait a minute, we have to believe in things. So someone might come up with the idea that in order to get water out of the faucet, we have to believe that turning the handle of the faucet, the water will come out. So this is pushing this idea of belief to an extreme, but yes, there's a kind of belief, but it's a belief that we can immediately see whether it works or not. The proof is right there. It's practical. The condition for the water coming out is turning the handle, and so it's not exactly a belief. Maybe there's confidence that it'll work because the whole plumbing system is in order, and so it's that kind of practical way, like this, that there's a cause and condition for water coming out. There's a cause and condition for developing this practice. It's a cause and condition for our suffering, and it's a cause and condition for the end of suffering. So when we teach, we're constantly using that as an orientation, that teach practically, teach what's useful, and teach the cause and condition so we can really see what's going on. There's a wonderful teaching of the Buddha that's called the preservation of the truth. And this is where the Buddha says that if you say something, if you have a belief, you should explain to people the basis upon that belief. So if you believe it because you have faith in something, so there's no proof, there's no seeing why this is the case, then you say, I believe this because of faith. You don't say this is true. You say, I believe this is true because I have faith it is so. If you say it that way, you're preserving the truth because you're stating this is I base this on faith. And so people know you're not making an absolute claim, but you're making a claim for yourself. And they know the assumption underneath it, that people know the basis underneath it, so they can be in conversation with you. If you just say something is true dogmatically or declaratively, people don't know how to find themselves. They either have to believe it or not believe it, or they can't participate in it in a robust way. But if we preserve this truth by saying it's based on faith, he goes on to say that if we base it on what we've heard from our teachers, what I believe is based on what's popularly believed by the society around me. I believe it because it's in my sacred books. I believe it because I thought about it logically, and my logic or rationality led me to believe what this is. Each of those cases, when you say that to someone, they can go back and check with you the source of the belief. Is that source a useful source? Do they want to rely on that source too? But if you just make a declarative statement, which then becomes a view, then the conversation people can't really participate or engage in a more realistic way to find out what's really going on here. So this idea of speaking based on reasons, practical reasons, and one of the great questions is asking yourself, why do I want to say what I want to say? Why do I want to do what I want to do? And to take the time to ask that question is not to ask looking for metaphysical answers, but right now, what am I trying to accomplish? What is the practical reason for why I want to say what I want to say? And the first time I kind of really clearly saw the value of asking myself that was just before I was going to give a Dharma talk many years ago. An old friend showed up, and we had a little chat, and I went into the meditation hall to sit down, meditate, and give a talk. So just before I went to sit down, I just said to my old friend, I haven't prepared for this talk today. And because I sat down to meditate right after saying that, I said, why did I say that? And I realized the reason was I was trying to protect myself from my friend judging me in case I gave a bad talk. If I had asked myself the question before I said what I said, why do I want to say that I didn't prepare the talk today? I would have seen the reason I did it, and then I probably would have done something different. So understand the reasons, the practical cause and effect relationship, the conditions underlying what we do. This is the alternative to having beliefs, having fixed views, having dogmatic views, having metaphysical views that Buddhism emphasizes. We don't have to have any. We don't have to believe in anything we don't see for ourselves. The emphasis in the Dharma is come and see for yourself. It's visible here and now. And because of that, you can count on that the teachings really are meant to be practical, be instructions. They're meant to be something that is reasoned out. There's reasons for why we say it. And reasons means it's based on conditions, based on cause and effect, based on how conditions influence how things are. And in teaching the Dharma, I interpret this particular phrase that says, I will speak for practical reasons. I interpret it as explaining the conditions for why what we're teaching. What are the reasons? What are the rationalities? What is it can be? How can we see this for ourselves? What's the basis for what we're saying? And so what I just did now was a little bit the case. I said, I'm going to interpret this text this way. And that's preserving the truth. That's I'm giving you the reason, for why, the background for why I'm interpreting this way. I'm saying it's an interpretation. And I use this interpretation, and the reason for it is I would like the teachings I do to guide people away from fixed beliefs, dogmatic beliefs, declarative statements, to what they can know and experience for themselves and verify for themselves. Oh, this is true. I see that this works. It's as true as turning the handle on the faucet and the water comes out. And it's that practical, that immediate, what we can do. So in the meditation, I don't want to just make a declarative statement that can be made, that mindfulness is always useful. What I'd like to say is that mindfulness is useful in many circumstances, and we can discover that by paying attention to the effect that being mindful has on us. That if we bring clear awareness to our experience, that's a condition that then changes the ecosystem of our experience, what's going on. And if you really pay attention to what happens when you bring clear, simple, relaxed attention, then you'll see that this is useful. And the place to look to see where the evidence is primarily in yourself. Though sometimes clear awareness that translates into listening carefully to others, seeing them clearly, it does also change the environment we're in, the situations we're in somehow. And so we can see that change. Other people relax, other people feel cared for, other people feel understood, feel respected. And you see that changes as a circumstance. So to cultivating clear awareness is a condition that can have an effect that is beneficial. So that's speaking for practical reasons. That the reason to be mindful is to benefit self and others. And that's something that you can see for yourself as we learn to do this practice. And in fact, we're supposed to see it for ourselves. All the Dharma, everything in the Dharma, I believe based on how I read the ancient texts, everything in the Dharma should be verified. The core Dharma of the Buddha should be verified in our own experience through our own practice. So may that be for you. And may you see, as you go through the day today, may you ask yourself the question, why do I want to say what I'm going to say now? Or why do I want to do what I want to do now? And see if that kind of brings forth a better understanding of the conditions that influence your life. Thank you.